Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Another day, another talk about the Quran, the beautiful words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as we continue with chapter 26, Al-Shu'ara, we were continuing talking about the Prophet Abraham, one of the greatest prophets, and the one who showed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sacrifices. And we need to understand why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have made these prophets, or what did qualify them to become prophets. They own belief, their own life, their own everything around them was revolving around Allah. They want to do anything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks him to do. And that's why a guy like Abraham, he was a fata, he was a youth. And this is for all the youth. You can change the future. The future can be changed with you as a youth, as somebody who's young, who has the energy to change. That was Abraham. At that age, he was able to, I need to know the truth. The sun is my God. The moon is my God. The statues are my God. Until a little by little, Allah have give him the belief and guided him towards him. From there on, Abraham's strength, Abraham's belief in Allah is so strong. Each one of us is the same thing. Once you try to see the reality of this world, the reality of the life we're living in, what's going to happen at the end? You enjoyed yourself for a vacation. You enjoyed yourself for having the nicest car ever. You're having the biggest house ever. You have the biggest bank account ever. You have what's going to happen? You're going to go back to 2 foot by 6 foot coffin. And you're going to go. Nothing will come with you except the actions, except the true belief. That's why the Quran is coming to filter, erase, clear up the mix-up between all these religions in the market, to clear up the beliefs of each one of us, to tell you that the truth is here. The truth which Abraham came with, the truth which Noah came with, the truth which Moses came with, the truth which Jesus came with, the truth which is Muhammad, the seal of those prophets came up with. That's the beauty of Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they believe in Allah, is the one who's driving you. The one which is directing you. The one is telling you how to act, how to behave, what you participate in and what you don't participate in, what you love and what you dislike. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us. And Abraham here is the prime example. Abraham said, verse 84, وَاجْعَلْ لِي لِسَانَ صِدْقٍ فِي الْآخِرِينَ. Make my tongue. Abraham meant what? Abraham, he want, and this is the believer. The believer want from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time reward. Money. Money in terms of hasanat. Money in terms of hasanat, which means is reward from God. Why is that? Because he's a believer, is smart. He knew that this is going to be the currency in the hereafter. In the hereafter, there is no dollars. There is no real estate. In the hereafter, there is rewards. The points Allah give you for the good deeds. So Abraham is smart. He asked Allah before that from his progeny, all the prophets and the messenger come. And because he did all these sacrifices, he go and he built the house of Allah in Mecca. He went travel, so many things. We're not going to go through the life of Abraham. But Allah has granted him what he asked him for. He wants the reward keep counting. He wants the his scale of points to go up in the hereafter. He knows he's gonna die. He knows he's gonna, but he wants his, and until this moment, Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam came from the progeny of Abraham. And whatever Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam have done, Abraham, he has a reward in it. So Abraham keeps وَاجْعَلْ لِي لِسَانَ صِدْقٍ فِي الْآخِرِينَ. And up till this now, Muslims are praising Abraham, talking about Abraham, mentioning Abraham in their prayer. And it's gonna keep, this is gonna keep happening until the day of judgment. اجعل لي لسان صدق في الآخرين. So he wants his reward. His progeny, he died, but his progeny continuing the mission. And this is an indication for us, for all of us, have righteous children. Make sure you take care of raising up the children. Don't let Facebook, don't let Twitter, don't let TikTok, don't let Snapchat, don't let all these social media raise your child. Make your child, you raise up, don't make the school system raise your child. Don't let Hollywood raise your child. Don't let them do that, because they will contaminate and corrupt his brain. Make the Quran, make the belief of Allah raise your child, because he will be, at the end, you'll gain in your life. You'll be gaining the benefits when he take care of you when you're getting old. Then Abraham told Allah, وَجَعَلْنِي مِنْ وَرَثَةَ جَنَّةِ النَّعِيمِ. Make me from those who will inherit that beautiful paradise. And this is really the understood the equation. These prophets, these messengers, and all the people who believed, they know that this life is just a temporary. And the reality of the living is in the hereafter. There's nothing. There's not an amount of money can compensate for the hereafter. Because it's everlasting life. You're not going to die there. Then he said, وَأَغْفِرْ لِأَبِي إِنَّهُ كَانَ مِنَ الضَّالِّينَ. He asked him for forgiveness for his father. And again, it shows that you, as Abraham, he kept giving to his father a lot of inviting him to believe in Allah, but he refused. And this is why in the different verses, Allah will tell him, don't worry about your father. He decided. You did what you can, but he decided not to be a believer. وَلَا تُخْزِنِي يَوْمَ يُبْعَثُونَ. He's telling Allah, don't disgrace me in my father, in my family, when I'll be resurrected again in the hereafter. He's asking Allah because he knows the connection between a person and his family is very strong, and they want the best all the time for your father, for your mother, for your kids. So he was asking, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he looks at things in a different way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has his own criteria, and these criteria very specific. And number one in this criteria is the belief in Allah and not in something else. So we can have the emotions all day long about this or that. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he has criteria to judge, to accept people to his paradise. Then Abraham, he said, and a very important word, يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ. We just spoke about it a few minutes ago. About what? About that this, in the currency of the hereafter, is what? Is the reward. Is the rewards for the good deeds you do here. It's the points, the hasanat, which Allah give you. There is no mal, there is no dollars. So whatever you're collecting, try to use what you're collecting before you die to earn these points, the hasanat, in your bank account. Try to have it for retirement. Don't try to collect it and leave it for somebody who's going to take it and misuse it. And also, they won't even remember you. So the money, يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ. Money will not going to help in the hereafter. That's what Abraham said. Even his kids, nobody. وَلَا بَنُونَ. Even the kids of people, the second or the most important thing after money and the kids, people do anything for their kids, they're not going to even help you in the hereafter. And even they're not going to even help you after death. As we see, the relationships between kids and the fathers and mothers, it's just been in a complete disaster at this time which we live in. And because of the influence from these social media, from Hollywood, from the celebrities, or the disrespect became evident in our society. The gap between the youngsters and the old people has become so huge. يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. So money, kids, will not going to help except the one who come to Allah and the hereafter before he dies. What it meant is before he dies, you have a qalbun salim. Means what? Sound heart. What's the sound heart means? The sound heart is the heart which he was here, knew, number one, knew the reality of this world. That this world I'm going to leave this world at any time. I don't have to have connection with it. Yes, you have to work. Yes, you have to sleep. Yes, you have to take care of but at the end of the day, I'm taking it. I'm using this world to take as a bridge to the hereafter. That's number one. Not connected with the money in this world. Donation, I'm giving. I need to, any causes for goodness, I'm doing. No connection. Authority, I'm not looking for. If it comes to you, people choose, yes, go. But if you are not a seeker for that, you're not seeker for the authority, for the power, you're a seeker for goodness, to spread the guidance. That's number one. Number two, has no animosity, envy, hate, jealousy, competing with others in the worldly affairs. That's what the believer, this is the sound heart. Means a clean heart. Why is that? Because you understood that whatever comes Allah give to a person is because Allah wanted that. And you as a believer, you have to respect the will. You have to respect the choice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you cannot envy anybody for anything. You cannot be jealous from anybody for anything. Because you what? You respect the will and the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You believe in it as a believer. That's a sound heart. Clean. And why is that? Because nobody will enter to that paradise until he has that sound heart, clean heart. Because this is the heart of the people in the paradise. Remember, a surgeon, before he graduated from his residency and be able to operate after he finished his residency, he has to show his attendance, doctor, the attendant, he has to show him that he is able to do these surgeries on his own. The appendix surgery, for example, on his own. The liver or the kidney or whatever surgery he's supposed to do on his own, he's able to do it. Then when he graduated him, except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, before he wants us to be accepted to his garden, to his paradise, he wants us to show him that our hearts are those hearts of the paradise people. So no envy, no arrogance, no ego, no, you have to show kindness. You have to show love. You have to show humbleness. You have to show smile. You have your heart. You're not jealous from somebody. You're not competing with people. You're there day and night looking for the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's satisfaction and pleasure. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر